Wait for it. Yeah, right.
Ooh.
All right, folks. Welcome. Thank you for that sick intro. That was great. That was great. All right, people. Welcome to the inaugural episode of This Is the End with the Horsemen of the Apocalypse of the Xion Network. So, since it's our first show, I'm going to do a quick run through, just to let y'all know what this is about. This is the End is a monthly review show with a focus on pop culture and a special interest taken in works produced by members of the Xion Network. The Xion Network is a network of creatives with a special focus on independent comics. The Xion Network was created initially by Sean Allen, who is a Barbadian-born artist, comic book artist, illustrator, and a overall creative or a renaissance man of creativity. He moved to Philadelphia and started the network there, but then after reconnecting with his Barbadian roots, he established Xion Network 246, which is the Barbados contingent. And that is spearheaded by our boy Mose here. So first I'm going to let the panel introduce themselves, starting with Mose. He is the de facto leader of the Horsemen.
Yes.
Tell the man about yourself.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. Every single time he does this. Anyways,
Wow.
how you doing, people? My name is Moz. It's spelled Mohz. I'm an artist. I'm creator, beat maker, producer. As you know me, I am one half of the other team with the Zion Network group, as Ian, not Ian, sorry, Ron has mentioned before. Pretty much, y'all know the routine with me already, and tomorrow you'll probably see me in my ugly mug again. So it's like, hey. And I am currently the de facto leader of the Horsemen.
Correct.
Wait. Gun fingers.
All right, moving on. Next, we move on to Jess, the not so blonde at the moment, bombshelling.
It's
So,
true.
tell the men
The
about yourself, Jessica.
I'm a Leo. I like long walks on the beach, and citrus fruits are my favorite fruits, and I love cookies. That's all you need to know. So I am Jessica, the currently not blonde bombshelling of Instagram. I am an animator, but also have interest in like surface pattern design, fashion, and just possibly too many things for my own good. I am also the state mandated undercover officer of the Bureau of Gender Affairs. I'm just here to break up a gathering of 4 or more men on the internet with the required amount of estrogen, I guess. Still waiting on my files to reach my desk, but until then, that's me for now.
Jessica is our
Wow.
token black female.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
B. I
Shout
I
out,
am I am the diversity hire. The diversity hire, if you will.
shout outs to our wonderful PM. Yeah, more Molly for providing Jessica for this show. Thank you. So next off, we have our boy Cam, god of many things, some of which will not be mentioned on this show. Introduce yourself, Cameron.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. My name is Cameron, ordinary man by day, gamer and artist by night. I don't really think that there's much else to say right now, so let's just get into the meat of the matter.
Okay, cool. So we're short a horseman, but he has promised to join us as soon as
He
he's
lost his
done doing
horse, guys.
You better
his
hide.
shopping.
No,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
the horse is in stables. He might say that much, but he's in stables. You better bring it.
All right, so that just leaves me. I am your boy Rune. I think I will be functioning as the host of this show for the time being. I am a hobbyist writer, illustrator, and character designer. That's my claim to fame in the art space. I am more of an art consumer than an art producer, but I've done some stuff. I think for the purpose of this show, I'm going to be our resident martial artist because I got some stuff to talk about when we get into the comic, and that is the perfect segue into what we're going to be focusing on today. So today's main highlighted piece of artwork produced by a member of the Xion Network is Offset. Offset is a comic written by the amazing Delvin Howell. It's the art is produced by the absolutely ridiculous Tristan
That
Roach.
stinking dog Tristan.
Yeah, who we all love to hate. He is too good. And
It's true.
Tristan, fix your life.
It's
And
true.
it has colors by Edward King Bola, the man with the initials Ebola, because he is absolutely sick. His colors on this are chef kiss.
Lethal.
It's
It's
perfect.
true. It's true.
So what we're going to do now, Offset was produced, I guess, under the umbrella of Beyond Publishing. So we're going to ask Julian to speak a bit on Beyond, give us some background on the book and the conglomerate of comic book creators in Barbados. Take it away, Julian.
Sure.
Learn us some things.
Yeah. So Beyond Publishing, it was founded by Matthew Clark. Also Delvin, along with Alan Nigel Lynch. Yes, he does have it. He goes by the initial Nigel. But anyway, so initially those are the three core members, but obviously I am part of that core group. Like if the front guys, they would be them. So we started. So we started like producing a lot of comic book properties of Barbadiana, so to speak. So we had done a lot of different ideas and smashed out different things. There's the what's you could call it? I am on here and doing this here again. But anyway, so there's a lot of them anyway. One in particular that we chose to highlight today is definitely Offset, which Ron had said that it is spectacular, it is great, it is wonderful, it is everything Barbadiana you can probably get for a comic. True, I can tell you this one. If you are missing definitely a piece of Barbados, you would definitely find it in this comic.
You will find many pieces of Barbados in this comic.
Pieces of it. Being a thing of nostalgia is just really great.
True story. So that brings us quite well into, I guess, our segue for what this episode 1 is about. Episode 1 is about Offset. So how would I describe Offset? I think Delvin did a much better job on last week's Instagram live interview with Xion. So I will try my best to substitute for that. So basically, Offset is a modern fantasy book, which is it exists in an alternate version of Barbados called Bimshire, and it focuses on a young man coming to grips with the dark magical undertones of the island, steeped in obeah and some other spooky stuff. But yeah, I guess if I had to describe it, if I had to give the cliff notes for it, to me, Offset is really, it's a Barbadian made, very, very like locally infused shonen manga, except it's in color and it looks absolutely amazing. So that's really, really my first thing. What I want to do now, we're going to go through the format for the show. Basically, we're going to be judging each of these works in 5 categories. We're going to start with the setting. We're going to go to story. We're going to review characters, the art, and then the technique used in telling the story. And if we feel like we're going to have a bonus round where we just give it extra points for being absolutely ridiculous. So
Because we could do
we've done a
that.
few. We can.
Yeah.
It's our show. We can do whatever we want. Anyone who doesn't like that can fight me personally. So yeah, this is how we're going to start. We're going to start off with the setting. I think for those of you who don't know, we've done a dry run of this multiple times, and we always go over time because there's too much to talk about in this book. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
So instead of going one by one, we're just going to do it round table style. Who wants to start off talking about the setting of Offset?
I think I'll start.
Yay.
So when I started reading it, I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about it, but I liked, because usually when I find like when artists talk about Barbados and stuff, they tend to overdo sometimes. Like you're supposed to be all pride and industry, and it becomes it becomes too much sometimes. Like you don't.
I feel
Yeah,
like
agreed.
Gabby would be
You don't
very
have-
displeased with you for saying that.
Gabby's my neighbor, so yeah, he's cringing right now.
But like
Don't shrug me. He's throwing hands.
you
with me.
don't see like people like in America be like overly patriotic and stuff about their comics. Some like their mainstream comics, you don't really see that happening because it is.
Captain America?
Oh my god, that is like that is one.
sorry, go on,
That
Captain.
is one example.
I'm trolling. I agree with what you're saying. Keep going.
I
They
cry.
don't do stuff like here's this American pie because it's American or stuff like that. You have the culture fused into the storyline of the comic.
Organically.
It's organic. It's not forced. And I find that for some things I've read before, I find is very forced and overt. I find when I read this, it was very much subtle, but you know that it is something from a particular place.
Oh yeah,
Like-
I agree 100%.
Like the colors of these that are vans, a
Yeah.
random trident here or there.
Yeah,
the
like
type
there's a shot in one of the issues as well, where it's like an aerial shot from in it's called a street that Woolworth on. Because that's not a small street, but that's the street heading into
Nah.
small street.
Yeah,
think
it's
that's
like a gap
cool.
between street and cross.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Is it
But like
street?
when I saw that shot, I was just like, I know exactly where
That is.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly,
Like,
exactly.
So is really nice because the Sahel is very much like if you're familiar with Barbados, it's just like, oh yeah, I know where that is. Everything,
Also,
yeah,
go
it
ahead,
has like
go
a
ahead,
nice
go
sense
ahead.
of geography.
Right. And to add what you saying, Jess, there's also like shops, multiple shops I could see like where is the like some characters you would see like in the countryside, especially
Yeah.
like the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There are plenty of night scenes that I think Tristan had captured, and also with well, not going totally into the art setting, but like there is this nice hue of dark blue. You could tell it's nighttime, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and capturing with the lights and the silhouettes you will see in the street lights and stuff. So you definitely know that you are no other place but Barbados for sure. Who
Yeah.
knows? No, in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I think
I definitely like that.
Yeah,
Go
and
on,
I
Jessica.
think like to kind of piggyback off of Cameron's point about the setting, like I read a lot of manga, and the Korean ones, Korean manga, basically.
Mangwa.
Yeah, rip to my
Correct.
pronunciation.
Thank you for 10 points.
What? But yeah, so like they tend to give you a lot about the culture of their like cities and stuff without it being like a how to civics guide or like
Yeah.
a map of a place. So I kind of feel like
Mhm.
it has a really nice touch of, you know, creating the place as a character because like really learned people talk about like, oh yeah, the setting was a character in this novel and all that other stuff. So it kind of really drives that home to
Right.
me. Whereas
Yeah,
like,
100%,
yeah,
100%.
this is definitely Barbados. Like
Oh,
Oh yeah,
100.
I agree.
if y'all
So
see
like
me
from the time
turn
you
and
see a
stuff,
bus
I'm
stop,
just typing to the people in the chat.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
no
I'm doing
problem.
the same
Ooh,
thing
there are
too.
people
The
in
same
chat.
thing.
Hello, people
Yeah,
in
people in
chat.
chat. For sure.
Hello,
Yeah.
people in the chat. But yeah, man. So like from the time you see the main character Kyle sitting at a bus stop, and like based on the construction of the bus stop, constructing the shed next to the bus stop, the actual bus stop itself, you know for sure if you've ever been to Barbados, you know that this is Barbados. So we don't have to have
Yeah.
all the characters wearing blue, yellow, and black and like looking ultra cheesy. It is super good.
How dare you?
What? I'm just saying. I'm just
I
saying.
feel I want Gabby climb tree when not cuffing you sleepy.
Boy, if Gabby do it, I would go take it. He's Gabby. You just gotta hold that L.
Or
But nah, for
elbows.
real.
It's true though. It's true
But yeah,
though.
so like the from the like the geography and the backdrops are amazing. What I also like about the setting is the introduction of like all the martial arts and stuff. So Delvin is like me. Delvin is a man of culture. Delvin said in his own words that he's a lover of cinematic violence, and I am with him on that.
Let me just tell you exactly what I've been like. Plenty, not cinematic, plenty of violence. Let me just iterate that whole point.
Del-
Man,
I
Del-
blood and gore.
I am
Delvin
here
knows.
for it.
Delvin knows I gave him the nickname of the hype beast.
Yeah, for sure.
Maximum hype. Every
Yeah.
day, Delvin wakes up, he chooses violence.
And
Curry.
that's what I'm about in life. So the fact that my guy he included stick licking, which is a traditional Bajan martial art, and he made it into like this very highly regarded, almost mythical martial art that the characters in the book are familiar with. I thought that was great. We have a character who he's a blade user. He uses a cutlass, a Collins in I guess like Barbadian vernacular,
And
and that is also like a very well respected, quite defined martial arts. When people see you with a Collins, they're like, okay, cool. It's like a Japanese person walking around with a katana. They're like, okay, this dude does kendo. He's a samurai. In this show, they're like,
yeah.
Collins. Collins has a Collins. He is a Collins wielder.
Collins has a Collins. Never gonna get over that.
It's
Never,
proper.
never,
we got
ever.
guys like Sniper. Any Barbadian knows that throwing things is a quintessentially Barbadian way to engage in violence. If you're fighting, you're throwing big rocks.
You're throwing rocks. It's true.
Indeed. In this show, in this book, we got Sniper.
Yeah.
Sniper is from a clan of people who've mastered the art of pelting, which is like, it's quintessentially Bajan, but it's being put forward in the story in a way where it's like it's part of our structured culture. These avenues for violence are respected in the same way that karate is respected in Japan, that kung fu is respected in China, that taekwondo is respected in Korea, in BIM, stick licking, Collins wielding, and throwing things
pelting things.
Pelting are martial arts, and that to me is sick. That is like very, very good storytelling, and it's done subtly. It's not done in like a very in-your-face preachy way. It's just you notice it organically as you read the story. So for me, that is ridiculous.
Correct.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Wow. I ain't get used to that, but I guess. I guess it's gonna be episode.
Is this the part where we rank it? Also.
Yeah. So scoring out of let's say out of 20, we're going to be out of 20 horsepower. We are leaning in on the corniness for this show. Anybody who doesn't like it can also fight me. So man,
I feel like you should also disclose that you actually have like you're not just a random person on the internet that just like fight me. Like you actually are trained to do actual fighting.
Oh yeah. I may have like 15 years of formal martial arts training and a black belt on my belt. So
yeah, just in case anybody actually wants to take him up on the whole fight me thing.
It would be a lot more funny if they rolled up on him and they found out when
because
before.
Mess around and find out. Look, see, Tim is already in the chat trying to fight me. Tim, I respect you as a person. We are going to do battle. Hit me up.
We are going to do battle, he says. Jesus.
Tim is my dude.
Okay.
Rating.
So,
Rating. I
What?
will give it. I'll give it a 17 out of 20.
I give it an
Cameron,
18.
Cameron is so
Yeah.
stingy with points, B.
I just want
What do you mean?
over to-
How am I
It's
stingy
true.
with points?
I
Everybody's
also
be
give
like,
it. I also would give it an 18 because I'm being reasonable. I'm not giving it a 20, but I would give it a 20 to be honest.
It's like
yeah,
there's a
because in
one-
the first couple of dry runs, everybody was like 25 out of 20 because we'll break our own ranking system on the first episode. We do not.
Yeah,
give
I guess you
a
gotta
hot
work up to
damn.
that. You gotta work up
And
to that.
Cameron was just like, no, I'm gonna be reasonable and
And give
do
it
it 20
a
or
12.
less.
Yeah.
Give it a 15. Give it a 17. Everybody's just like, you stingy bastard.
Yeah.
Stingy.
Someone has to be
But
the
yeah, I
bad.
also give it like a 18, 19. Because like I said, I enjoyed it.
Is it
The
18 or
subtlety
is
of
it 19?
Boy, you 18 and a
Oh,
half.
no, Cameron is being that guy.
Fella.
You gonna
Yeah.
add it in the decimal point yourself, or
Let's just average
I
it
hope-
at equal.
This how you get
And we will-
I hope like you've been tracking the little points and stuff.
Boy, I know where you live.
I also know where you live.
Becky, carry me what you left to, so make it.
Indeed. Okay, so moving on to the story, Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron.
Oh boy.
So I know you had some issues with the storytelling, Cameron.
Ian
Mr.
has
Mr.
arrived.
Connoisseur of fine literature.
Yeah.
Ian.
Ian, you said Ian has arrived. Oh,
Yeah.
He said so in
I'm
the
going in.
WhatsApp chat.
Late
Hey.
horse.
Welcome, Ian.
You know, man.
Our runaway
You
horse
got
has
been,
joined us.
It's been a rough ride game at home. It's
Rough
true.
ride.
Why is he breathing? Why is he breathing heavy? What were you doing, Ian?
What were you doing, Ian?
Yeah, Ian, what were you
Yo,
doing?
what's up? We were talking about your story? Yeah. Cool.
Wow, he's trying to get us to talk about the story to avoid talking about his
The story.
How
Deep it
convenient.
be. Deep
Right,
it.
so since you joined us late, Ian, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hurry up.
Real quick. Wow, we full screen. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
I Ian Wade. I am Horsemen of Death, if you went by the titles. You know my titles? Yeah.
Well, I introduced myself by my government name. Well,
Just
you
not
hold
my
up-
government name, but-
just hold up a sec. Hold up a sec, Ian. Sean said that Rune is Drake colored. I have no fear of his hands.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
You know what?
Okay.
Oh.
Sean is
Them is
going
fighting
to
words.
get these hands.
Good
Sean
one.
is being protected right now by the state's quarantine.
Wait a
Come to
minute.
Barbados.
Let me just say, as me being the de facto leader, and I know I
Oh,
can check
jeez, son.
for tomorrow, and this is how it's gonna go. Apparently, he said
De facto leader?
we got some class in this chat. Therefore,
Talk to the
Mr.
men.
Charlene, this is what you're gonna do.
Oh Lord.
Because you
Oh,
are
Lord.
a vegan, I ain't gonna call you out by your last name. So you better hold up.
Oh wow.
Truths that you just had, and we had before.
The shots are fired,
Diminished. If
There's
you
not,
Wait,
there's
wait.
not shots
Wait,
fired.
Sing, wing.
and everyone is choosing violence. I love
you
it.
an evil life, sir. And now we go back to everybody's go already in progress. Take it away, guys.
Cry.
Right. You want to finish
So
introducing
yeah,
yourself,
guys,
Ian?
this is Ian. Hi, Ian.
Yo.
Hi,
Wow.
Go on, Ian.
Yeah,
Tell us
no,
about yourself.
My name is Ian. Hi, Ian. I am an artist, or I try to be. I Jacanima art, for those who might know. And I just like to draw good, cool
Man
stuff
talking
when I
about
can.
he's trying to be he's trying to be an artist. This is my heart.
That's not good.
Yeah,
That's not
Ian,
good
your
That's not
ability
good
to introduce
enough.
yourself has been forfeited. Ian
Yeah.
is ridiculous, people. Check him out on
No,
Instagram
I'm not.
at Dracanima
I mean-
Art. He is sickening, not quite as sickening as Tristan, but up there. We can't
Yeah.
we can't stand Ian.
Is it Tristan
We
and
really can.
Julian? And Ian,
Mhm.
like off screen.
Excuse me? You know what? Let's
Let's move on. Let's back to the story, guys.
Right.
About his story.
Tell us about your thoughts on the story, Cameron.
Okay. So, as we discussed earlier when we were trying to do this initially, when I think of a story, I think of And in most like Shonen Jump or most narratives, you have what you would call an inciting incident. Something happens to the character, and then you go up in these escalations up to get to a climax, and then you have like the epilogue and stuff like that. I don't know how long the comic book is supposed to do because it's only at 4 issues right now.
Right.
But for me, they're not following that method of storytelling, so it threw me off. And because I read it straight through as a collection, I think I was not for me. It was not the best way. But if you read it, if you were to read it how they came out, it is basically them introducing the, I guess what would be
The main cast.
the main
Yeah.
character and the main cast one by one. So it's kind of like a showcase. And I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but it's not my preferred. It wouldn't be my preferred way.
Okay.
It doesn't seem organic to me, but it's pretty okay to do it. So just saying, I probably want to give like full points when we
Boo.
We know that.
Also,
Right.
boo. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I agree with Cameron, but as a counterpoint, as someone who reads, let me not say that. As someone who used to read a lot of manga and who generally like shonen anime, I guess for context, the first 4 issues of Offset, the comic book, correspond to the first 3 chapters of the novel. The novel has 12 chapters. So at this rate, we're looking at I mean, it's not really 1-to-1, but let's say he keeps up the same pacing. You're probably looking at about 16 comic books for the first arc. And of the 4 comic books we have, it takes 3 books, each book introducing a character, and then the 4th book is where the story starts to pick up. I guess the 4th book is kind of a little fillery, a bit slice of life, but it's where the story really starts to jump off. And for both manga and anime, that is quite normal in terms of introducing a character, introducing another character, and then setting the story in motion. So I didn't have an issue with the way that Delvin paced it personally.
I
have to agree.
I agree
Because
also.
I'm very into slice of lifestyle storytelling anyway. I just kind of like to get to know my characters a little bit, for the most part. So I don't necessarily mind, like, you have four chapters in the comic. So you have, like, you introduce why am I terrible with names?
Kyle?
Forgive me. Yes, there we go. So we have Kyle, we have Collins, and we have my boy, Sniper. So like,
what's that? My Sniper until she day. Yeah.
We can get that in characters.
We can get to that. But yeah, so like the first issue is like, this is Kyle. He's a wholesome, upstanding lad. This Damien, he's a cool fella, kind of laid back. I kind of low-key getting Gallus vibes from him, but he got a girl, so we can just left that out. And then we just got like Sniper, who's just like Sniper. And then like in the 4th issue, you kind of have like, you begin to see like the group dynamic starting to flesh out more. And then obviously, like, it's not like you spend the whole issue just like following around Kyle in like a day. Like, you get to see him, the other characters surrounding him, a little bit of his backstory, but then you also begin to see like the interaction that's kind of coming out between him and Collins, for instance. So I kind of prefer that method of storytelling, I guess. But that might be, my years of weeb and weeb adjacent life kind of telling on me.
Yeah, for sure. Same here.
But yeah, but I think like I enjoyed it because it kind of gives you a little bit of time to digest everything, to orient yourself in the story. Because for one, I'm not really a huge fan of just like Bram Willando, everybody fisticuffs everywhere, shouting blood, action. Like, what is going on? Why should I care about any of these people? So I kind of feel like the story.
I don't even understand that statement.
Yeah, sorry,
understand.
but like,
Wow.
like I said, I like slice of life. I like what I like. So,
I mean,
like for me, it gives me time to really get invested in the characters, as well as like dropping hints about the wider story as well. So like the bits about Kyle's mother, for instance, when she's just like, yeah, hold on to this piece of cane is important.
right.
And it's just like, okay, this is interesting. This is
Miss
an interesting
Lepless, you're right.
tidbit. Not entirely sure where this is going, but I'm intrigued. It's like my man's is just
Yeah, they're like these little hints and clues all over the story about things to come.
Yeah, world
yeah,
building. I dig it.
yeah. So I
Right.
I, I appreciate that because it's not just like I said, like a day in the life of Kyle, a day in the life of Damien. So you get like a shot at their life, yes, but then you also get like an idea of the wider story. So like, why is this random shaggy bear just like breezing on top of a bus stop? Why is this man with a cane? Like, why do you have a sugar cane, sir? Why are you fighting random shaggy bears? Like, what is really
For
going
sure, for
on?
sure.
I
So
think I remember what it is I didn't like that I think was like a plot point.
Hmm.
Was when the
mm.
random guy walked up to Collins and was
Oh, the bus stop man.
Oh, I
Yeah,
did
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
creepy bus
Yo,
stop guy.
what going on?
creepy
Creepy,
Bus
creepy
stop
bus
guy.
stop guy is like,
All right.
hey,
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus.
he's like, hey, you, I see you have a Collins. Maybe you'd want to fight a guy with a sugar cane. And then
I
Collins is
feel like
like,
that's so. But I feel like, to be honest, like
and Collins is like,
it is kind of
okay,
random
I'll do
because the
that.
guy is really creepy.
But
But
it was mad random and quite creepy.
It is. It is.
but
Yeah.
Actually,
I also feel like that is a very specific thing to say. It's not like they might tell you, yeah, B, the next body that you see wearing like a pair of Baja slippers is gonna fight them. Like so and like even in the world itself, like the fact that Kyle walks around with a sugar cane is noteworthy, which is
Yeah,
something I
like
kinda
people
like.
think he's mad weird.
Yeah, so
Everybody
it's,
looks
it's,
at like,
I would think he's mad weird too, is a sugar cane.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, but I mean, like, but that's what I mean. So it's like this random creepy dude from the bus stop is just like, yeah, definitely going to fight a dude that has a sugar can. And you're like, who walks around with a sugar can, B? And then literally like the same day you bought a man with a sugar can, and you're like, wait, maybe I should fight him.
Or
worst,
But the
Kinda-
thing is, right? The
worst
thing is,
kinda
even
curious.
in the book,
of the season.
Damien is like, I mean, that's pretty weird. That's a pretty weird thing to say. And he's like, I don't
Yeah.
think he's necessarily going to fight Kyle because some random man at bus stop told him to fight Kyle. But he said
Right.
specifically in the book that when he met Kyle, he was like, he felt compelled to. He was like,
Yeah,
this dude looks strong. I feel the need
supernatural
to fight him.
forces.
yeah, I had to just to see.
I'm not even sure that it's supernatural, you know. So anybody who knows me
Spooky.
and who's known me for a while, like a lot of my closest friends are people who I fought. And that sounds weird, but for context, I started martial arts when I was very young. So like through my entire secondary school life, that's when I was trying to take martial arts very, very seriously. So it's rare. It was rare in Barbados at the time, and it's still rare now to find someone who's also serious about any kind of martial art. So when I met people who were like, "Oh, I do Shotokan and I have a black belt," I was like, "Oh, sick, fight me."
okay,
Like-
Goku.
Yeah, B.
I know,
Like
right? That's such a Goku statement.
that is big shonen anime protagonist energy, B.
Okay.
But I mean, that was my
Man's-
real life. Like, some of my closest friends are people who I've sparred with. Like, not even
I'll
in
tell you
places
my
where it's
story
reasonable to
too.
spar with. Like, oh, we go to the same secondary school at 3:15. I can just take off my school shoes and we can spar out by library for like 10 minutes. And that is a normal part of my formative years. So when Damien saw a man, I was like, "You, this dude looks strong. We should scrap." That was normal as hell to me. I was like, "All right, cool."
Cray. Cameron is unable to can. KO. Cameron loses.
Regular people would just play kicks and bites.
I did.
Yeah, B.
We did that too. We did that too.
You sure?
Yeah, but like,
You don't feel like he did.
No,
That's
I
something.
like Dolphin.
We
Epic.
played kicks and bites
Cool.
at UE, but then we had men who would come in and lift a whole human being and put them under their arm and take up the money and then leave. So just different, scenarios, different ways of living your life. Respect
You had
everybody.
a WWE moment, sir.
Right.
technically,
Yeah, we knew
nothing.
some people that weren't regular human beings, just too
Clearly.
thirsty forever.
Clearly.
No, and like how Delvin is just like Rune is clearly the Bakugo.
Yeah, he is very clearly the Bakugo. He is the Bakugo.
It's just
that was my life, B. That was my life. That was normal for me.
But yeah, I think like I've read enough manga, and yeah, like sometimes the men just use the flimsiest of pretexts to get stuff done. So honestly, a random man being like, yeah, I'm gonna fight this man with a cane, and then you meet the man and you was like, yeah, I feel oddly
Yes, you
compelled.
can do
That bust up. I think we agreed before that the bust up man was working OBAB because that was not normal.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless
That
you
has
know
to be
Han.
obvious.
All
That is
we
dead.
agree on is extremely creepy.
Yeah,
It's super
so
creepy. But anyway,
this
He was hella
giving
creepy.
me big Obia vibes. B. My man's was just like, yeah, fight him. B.
Just go and
Do
fight
it.
this man, fam. Galong.
Do it. Yeah, B. Like,
She buff style. Do it.
Just do it.
just do. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah,
Uh,
But yeah, so I like how the story progressed.
Yeah,
Unlike
same.
Cameron,
I quite like
I
the way
do
the
not
story played
hate.
out personally.
Yeah, I do not hate all things good. Unlike
Yeah, I feel
Cameron.
like we've established that Cameron doesn't like anything that's actually good. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
you want to say something, Cameron? You want to say something?
Come on,
Go on, Cameron. You have the floor. Go on.
You have said this here, sir.
you cannot tell me that I don't like nothing good, and both you and just said I want to enjoy Wonder Woman. Come
oh
on.
I
my
also
god,
There is
Whoa.
no fucking way that you could tell me
Wow.
that I ain't got no class and both want to vote for
Wow.
84
hang it, 84.
straight.
I enjoyed it,
84.
but
All right, we just leave that. Look, you won't. Oh, we don't know already where I put the 84 is straight in the is
All right,
in the
yeah,
satellite
I feel like we're
somewhere
getting a
in
little off
the-
topic here.
a little.
No.
But for clarity, I thought that Wonder Woman 84 was not an amazing movie, was not a great movie, but it had redeeming features, and there were enough of them that I could watch it, and it
Yeah.
wasn't terrible.
It's an average
Yeah.
movie to me.
It's literally a mediocre movie. I give it like a
Yeah,
5.5, 6 out of 10.
yeah,
It's
I give it
quite
like a
an
5
average
out of 10.
movie.
It is rubbish to the highest
Look,
degree. B.
Gal
I don't
Gadot is
think
still
absolutely
adorable, and she did a
all of
great
it.
job as Diana.
I want the chat right
Chris
now.
Pine
right?
as Steve Trevor was fine.
I want the chat to air.
Kristen Wiig
right
Wow.
as Panther was also quite fine. Maxwell Lord could die in a ditch. He was trash. The CG was garbage. The fight
Yeah.
direction was mad mediocre.
Yeah.
The story
Like, overall,
was
if you
also
say mediocre. That's being generous saying mediocre.
because
I don't think
some of the
so,
stuff
to
was
be
good.
honest.
It had like little
To be
Zack
honest,
Snyder
it's-
vibes from the first movie that were throwbacks. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. And the CG was
Yeah.
weak for sure.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Cheetah versus Wonder
I
Woman.
feel like unless you
That was
have
trash.
watched Tommy
Yeah.
Wiseau's The Room, like you have not seen garbage cinema. I have seen hot flaming garbage with my own 2 eyeballs. This is quite okay.
Agreed.
It's
It's a solid
it's
middle
on
of the
the
lane.
yeah, it's like on the poor side of average, but
Yeah.
it's in the grand scheme of
Camera, are you
things.
touching pearls?
It's a C minus movie.
Let me just ask this one question. Since when did the Lasso of Truth turn into a
Spaghetti?
jumpy cord? That's all I'm just asking, and she just swinging me from every single
you
Since
think-
it was made
her-
of
you mean her
magic,
Spider-Man moment?
guys.
Yeah,
It's
that
made of
CG was
magic.
awful for that though.
I just want to
Yeah.
point out. Let's segue back on the topic. The writer of this book,
Let's get
Delvin, said that Wonder Woman was alright. It was fine. It was fine. So
moving.
story.
Let's not dwell on this.
Let us score the story for Offset. Where do y'all put your scores?
You can just make Delvin get a title in the same chat. That's
Well,
all you
if
do.
I hold in blows,
Whoa.
if I hold in blows, Delvin got hold blows. That's how we rolling. Solidarity
What?
in this chat.
Rune is not going on alone.
I feel like for somebody who keep telling people to fight them,
Delvin
That's
said,
not-
I like the movie,
Like,
but
I thought
do
you were
not
off from
agree
yourself.
with
Like,
Cameron.
people in it.
cry.
All right.
Are we ranking this or?
Yeah,
I am ready to rank. For the story, I give Offset a 16. I thought it was very, very solid storytelling. It was quite familiar to me. Obviously, in the first volume of the book, which is only four comic books, a lot doesn't happen, so I can't give it like stellar marks. But I thought it was fine. 16.
Right. I also give it 16. So I'm in agreement with everything that you said with the story so far. So it's just a lot more to go because again, I have to get the novel. So that's another thing we got to discuss too at some point. But otherwise than that, I also give it 16. Yes, there it is. The novel.
I will give it a 16 as well.
Thank God.
Boo.
If Cameron give it a 16, then you know you're being hard on it.
Oh, damn.
Ian, Jess, what y'all say?
I was gonna give it 18 because I like Slice of Life, but you know.
All right, cool.
How about you,
I'm
Ian?
quite happy.
I give it a 17 so far, maybe because of as all you guys said, like I like the build up of the story so far. Again, only haven't read the comic at this point in time, the 4 issues, but like I like the pacing of it, and then also like how you introduce Kyle and then introduce Damien, but kind of tying them back into that one defining moment of we bros now, we cool. You know, as Bruno said, you know, you fight with somebody, you know getting on. You know who it is afterwards. So
yeah, B. You know this is a dude that you can go and fight with afterwards because he's a real man.
So 2 of them fight each other, and then turn on 2 of them fight this random shaggy bear. Yeah. We could be fat, hold some drinks on.
We are boys now. We are bonded for life through combat.
Cray.
So, yeah.
Whoa, Tristan said that he's disappointed in me. Whoa.
Whoa.
That was okay because every time I message him, I call he a stinking dog. So,
well, clearly it comes back at you, innit? Karma's a bitch.
That is how things go.
My back,
All right,
so we good.
So y'all folks can do some math. We're gonna average out the score for story at 16.5. Let's move on to characters because we know we got some strong opinions on these characters.
Oh, yeah.
Who wants to start on characters? Because I have opinions. I have many opinions on the characters in this book.
I don't think there's any characters in this book, in this series, the comic series, done badly. They're all, to me, they're all done really well. But I really fucking hate Sniper B.
Yeah,
Sniper could go and die. B. Sniper can die in a ditch any day of the week.
He's not even like
your boy though.
He's not like a villain
that's
that I
my
would
boy.
say,
Like,
like, this man. This man's a villain.
No,
Man,
like
he's just an asshole.
Sniper comes from a strong heritage of characters who are entertaining to read or to watch, but that you would hate to know in real life. I'm looking at you, Inosuke from Demon Slayer. I'm looking at you, Nathan from Misfits. Love.
Yeah, well,
Nathan from Misfits is a complete asshole.
Right, true.
He's annoying as hell, and he's just the man's just an ass. But you know what? He makes for good television.
Yeah, it's true.
He's
I feel like I hate
so
Sniper
funny
as much as I hate Nathan. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so for me it's just like, but I love Nathan. So I love Nathan. I love Inosuke. I love Sniper. Sniper's my boy. Sorry.
Yeah. I will admit that I don't think that Sniper's a poorly written character. I think you're supposed to hate Sniper because he's actually the worst. Exactly. So yeah. I feel like if I knew Sniper in person, we would scrap a lot. Real talk.
It's true, B.
Yeah. Besides the Sniper is the old man who actually is the voices of all of them anyway.
I like the old man back. I like the old man back.
To me, that's the best character you have ever written to me in this whole entire series because he has a lot of knowledge. He has a lot of course, he has a lot of skill because he can look and tell, so you know how to use that thing. Point that,
bruh. That's one of my favorite moments.
Yeah, that was sick.
That was like,
and you could
he looked at him and was just like, Kyle is really type of people like hanging out with. Whoa. Whoa.
Get the money shit at one thing.
Slight judgment.
Nah, B. Like the
make
man
better choices,
mustache
guys.
curled in disappointment. Just disgust.
So how
Yeah.
he was designed to, it was like,
Yeah,
shirt
man,
Yeah.
jacket.
I think I really
Go high.
like these side characters. I think the only character that I feel is kind of bland is Kyle. I feel like Kyle is a boring person, and if I knew him, we wouldn't be friends.
Kyle is supposed to be ready.
Nah, B. I feel like Kyle is definitely like, I don't want to say generic, but he's definitely like more of a staple shonen character, like kind of upstanding young gentleman kind of shonen character. Like I get those kind of vibes from him.
I know
Yeah,
if you
boring.
know.
Boring is where you're looking for.
He's a,
Boring.
he's a blank slate that you can build on. Like
Yeah.
as a defining personality, but he's that blank slate you can actually kind of like.
I
That's the thing, you know, it's not that he's a blank slate. I think he has a very clearly defined personality. I feel like he's a person. He's just a boring person.
But see, no, but what you mean by that is that you will find with a lot of shonen characters, they start off kind of
Like
and
naive,
then,
kind of.
yeah, and they start to build up a little bit based on
Yeah.
their values rather than how they actually like get on with people.
That is
Yeah.
fair. That is fair. And Kyle he's very straight laced, very much a
Yeah,
good
so
guy.
I think it's a case where
He
he's one of those
can't be
people
that.
where like adversity builds character, but he's lived a pretty normal life, so it's not like he's to
not
be
built up like that.
Yeah.
He's not been attacked with a Collins often enough. That's really the problem.
The way I see it is he can afford to be bland because you have Collins.
Yes.
And Collins is like the other side of the coin. It's kind of like
Yeah.
the duality that you have with
Yeah,
you
so it's
and-
like an introvert and an extrovert.
it's like
Exactly, that's what I said. So
Yeah.
clearly, Kyle is the introvert, and Colin is the extrovert.
right.
So
Yeah,
it's kind
for
of it plays out in a sense in a buddy cop style type of
Yeah.
situation. Where the one
Exactly,
has to
yeah.
very- The other is the other one that just do so well stuff. Is like lethal
Yeah.
weapon.
Yeah. Kyle is
straight-
definitely Collins is straight man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
exactly
I
like
think
it says.
too, like
That's what's written.
in the issue when they like go into the gap, and it's very much like Kyle is a little bit like
Like my eyes have been opened.
yeah, so it's kind of like he's just he's a wholesome lad. He's just a wholesome lad.
He
He's
is
just
a sheltered boy.
and
a
he's
sheltered
come
boy.
back and he little
Introvert.
brother is right on he for being a wholesome lad, but you know what? He's a wholesome lad. He loves Jesus. I assume. I don't know. You know?
But see,
You know.
I feel like this is why we get them Gallus feelings from them Gallus vibes from Damien.
From Collins.
Mainly because like Kyle's so wholesome, and Damien just this was doing the most. It's just like,
Yeah, you know, Damien definitely been
Show
doing
you
some
the
dirt
light.
on his side.
Bruh.
I want you to know that Kyle's little brother likes Damien more than he likes Kyle. That's just to show you how sick Damien is. Damien is the man among men.
Correct.
Damien is my dude.
Damien is the man that Kyle's brother wishes he was.
He is
Damn right.
definitely more entertaining.
he is.
I'm telling you, B, he's like, if they had an issue and them was like, yeah, as a side plot, you find out that Damien was horny, he girl, be like, I could believe that.
Facts. He's that kind of fella, B.
Yeah. Like he could go one of two ways. Like he's either like a fella that is like kind of flirt with other girls, but he's definitely like very, very, very into his girl, or he's like, yeah, I horny. Like full stop, point blank, period. Like yeah. Like he's one or the other, B.
Oh, we got Tristan in the chat, and Tristan says Collins all the way. I want to take back everything bad I've ever said about Tristan. Tristan's a man of culture and class, and he can do no wrong.
No, he's not.
Stop.
I have
all right. You just dragged
Tristan.
him out earlier for he work. I know you can take back everything.
Look, man, I'm trying to change. I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to be a better person, and to not call Tristan a stink mouth dog every time I see him.
If you want to be a better,
Nah,
at this point in your life too, so you can't even see even more. And it's recorded.
It's true.
Well,
It's true.
I can still
You're
tell you what he might have
caught
next see, but that's irrelevant.
Caught in 4K, dog. or whatever.
I think
frame
broadcasting
rate.
720p. You got pastry for better quality.
Cray. Make call you in
Mm.
720, dog.
Hashtag poverty streams.
2021.
Dead.
Just saying.
Oh yeah, true story, 2021. But yeah, no, I relate the characters. Even these side characters, like the old lady.
Yeah.
I think the characters bring out a lot of the Barbadian feel. The way that Kyle speaks to his elders and his younger brother Damien does not speak to them the same way is like hyper Barbadiana. He's not disrespectful.
Bruh.
He's just not as respectful as you need to be
Should be.
to your
Yeah.
elders in
He's-
Barbados.
Yeah.
Man's just
That
like,
boy
I don't
need to
even
learn.
know why I need to be talking to you like this. Be like, you're just a random old woman. Like, okay, girl.
Yeah,
Morning.
he needs to catch some hands
Yeah.
abruptly. But
Yeah,
I think the
yeah.
characters
Like,
are extremely well done. Go on, Jessica.
I just remembered, like, Kyle definitely has that wholesome vibe that you get from somebody who was raised by their grandparents.
Oh yeah.
Like that it just came to me as it's like he's definitely like a grandparent raised child. Like
It's true.
1,000%.
Legit.
Yeah, but like I like the characters, like even the side characters. It really makes the world feel a lot more realistic and a lot more lived in. Like, because I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes you have properties and the side characters are basically like NPCs. Like, hello, would you like to trade your goods for some coins today? It's like-
Yeah.
But it's it's kind of like you might not necessarily want like a spin-off of all the characters, but like with the old man in particular, I'm like,
I
feel like everyone want to know more about
He's
BB.
seen some stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
He's fighting crime.
He knows
Yeah.
some stuff for sure.
So like, if the men ever get around to doing like a prequel sequel, girl, what? Yeah, like if they ever get around to doing like a story about the old man in his younger days, like I feel like I'll read that be. Like,
So yeah, do saying. Anyway.
Yeah, like a
there's also
love one shot or something.
Also the character, the same creepy ass character that, because I didn't think, if you all realize that there are themes within the whole entire book, whereas that he's actually wearing a design of a domino on his shirt, which will represent something of a domino clan, maybe. I don't know. I can also read into stuff like that too. So obviously we got Colin, we got the sugar cane, which is bamboo, and we got the dominoes, and we got different things that are happening. So it's like playing on a lot of things with the
Lots of
setting of the world
foreshadowing.
and a lot of foreshadowing. And we know the old man just knows some good shit. He is like the guru of all kung fu gurus.
Yeah, he's like the old man that's be stroking your beard, just like
like
it's long.
Like he knows everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so man, so final scores on the characters. What say y'all? I give characters an 18. I don't think there are any characters that I dislike at all. I hate Sniper, Sniper could die, but I think I hate him because he's designed to be hated. So I think he's really well designed.
I give it a 19.
All the horses.
Shh, big up yourself.
All the horses.
All right, we got 18, 19, 20. Where we at? Ian and Cam.
I feel like 19. That creepy guy. He
Everybody's just like.
I'm up there, you guys.
I like how y'all get on like you don't be in tone and see random characters.
Cam out here with us guys. You gonna send?
Yeah, I need to know exactly where that number is. Ian, what number do you say, Ian?
I said 19.
Go on, Cameron. What's your number?
I would give them a 20 for the character design.
Oh Lord, big up yourself, Cameron.
All your time.
Big up yourself.
Oh, thank God.
Damn.
All right, so we averaging that at 19 for the expecting 19.2, but we're going at 19 for characters.
Yes, B.
Let us move on to the art. I want to talk about the art first.
Why? Because you got this whole thing. Why I can start?
Listen. I want to start because I have opinions.
Because you
got opinions that I need to get out.
You want to do this right now?
I got opinions, sir. Listen to my opinions. Let me talk.
Category as a bus, not in a bus stop. Same thing as lines on the street. Yellow, farm, the same color. Why you going to do this here right now?
You are. Hey, you lucky that you deleted the Horsemen. I will kick you out of this chat.
You can't do it.
Wow.
Whoa.
I mean, technically he could.
Technically he could.
See, if
I
I
don't
had to
know
be
how
Tony
this
Stark,
works.
if I had to be Tony Stark, this whole chat, he be Captain America. So hey, I just saying.
Ooh.
What
'Cause
he be?
Oh no.
And he is frozen.
Anyways, getting back on topic.
Right. Oh,
Getting back on
yikes.
topic. Ignoring Julian. We can cut
Whoa.
Julian off the stream just now, having some technical
Good.
difficulties.
Try
Scream.
me.
Anyways,
Try me.
story. So the main thing I want to point out
No,
about the
we
story,
on art,
I
dog.
feel.
Yeah,
Sorry,
We
not
on
the
art.
art, the
You
art,
forgot
or the art.
Get it
That's
together.
Damien.
Wow.
Julian got me too
So-
heated. Julian got me too heated. Sorry. Let me
Whatever.
He is so
You're
fresh.
getting
stop,
away with
stop.
something like
Let me talk about the art. What I love about the art is that the art in this comic in volume 1 takes you on a journey. So like the art in issue 1 is decent. It's pretty good. I feel like issue 1 is what I expected Beijing comics by very good Beijing artists to look like. Chef Kiss. Issue 2, when they first got Edward Bola on, it started to look very premium. I was like, I didn't really think that local comics could look like this. This is pretty sick. Issue 3, I was like, this could be like some proper Marvel or DC, like international quality, good art.
Yeah.
Issue 4, I was like, nah. This is
Yeah.
like
too much.
top 5 best art in any comic I have seen, bar none. This looks as good as Battle Chasers Volume 1. This art is like sick. Hold on. Let me share my screen, fam.
Please, sir.
Holy man, getting boot off his screen now. Cray.
Where we at? Look at this.
Exactly.
So good.
Look at this. This
Of course,
is-
he might have to pick a shot on my boy.
Well, I reiterate that Snipper's a dirty dog, but the art is ridiculous.
Exactly. And this is
So
the
this
same
is
exact thing
issue
I was
3
talking about.
when it starts to get like mad professional, like international
Yeah.
quality, top grade comic book art.
Yeah.
Then we go to issue 4.
Oh yeah. That club scene. Cause there, look at Kyle's little
Okay.
face.
Yeah, Kyle has seen me like me. Like Kyle was just like, I didn't know life was this good, and
Yeah,
finally.
All right. So,
So
let me
this
just
to me is where they unleash Tristan. I was like, Tristan, just go
Do what you
well,
wanna
fam.
do.
Do you think?
there's a reason for that, because it's like you have King Bola's style of coloring, but you see it only becomes even better because of Tristan's great
Line work.
still line work and
Yeah.
storytelling. Because if there's no way that he could have not like put certain cues and like check all the stuff in the background in between people, you can see how Tristan is like foreground, background, and is everything there that you can see that Tristan has done immaculately and perfectly. Like, and we all know what Tristan loves to draw women, so therefore
It's
it
true.
makes the panel even spectacular.
I think
So-
women like to be drawn by Tristan too.
Yeah, I know. Right?
I'm just here like this is your obligatory reminder from the state that Tristan's a snake mode dog.
Yeah, for sure.
So, of course.
Never,
I like how- I
hashtag
like how-
never forget.
I like how they may fill all this space with like even just the little props in the back, the whole clever.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Wow.
not an inch of wasted space on this page. Be as well done.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Ron, if Ron, if you could get the shot of the part where the next scene where they were driving.
Where they were driving.
That was when Kyle and Damien were in the car.
Yeah, if you can, if not.
Oh, I
would
don't
do that.
think I got that beforehand. So give me a
But
second.
Even then, I mean, like that shot, like I said earlier, within the setting, because like having to see everything, the hue of it, and the glow of the different lights and stuff, that gives you that feel of you are in Barbados and you read in night time driving along, and little parts of that was put into actually like they were singing like different, even this wait a minute.
Yeah.
Even from this point, look at this. Even at this, you can easily
That
tell
shot.
this is shot in between where the section where you see a focal point, and if you see your eyes is drawn right through until you see where at least they are actually entering the club. You see the person there taking
Yeah.
selfie with somebody else on the off doing something else thing. Yeah, sure you can see it, but you are dead center when you look at this kid, dead right center in the middle where you
I am
see the
crying
building.
because like this girl that's taking the selfie, I swear to God, I have seen somebody made that exact facial expression. Like looking at it now on the screen is just
Wow.
like nah.
But
Like not the girl
that,
holding the phone, the other girl.
The
The other
other
one
I
girl
next
in
to
the
her.
100%
Yeah,
have
yeah,
picture,
yeah. For
I
sure, for
have
sure.
I have definitely seen that facial expression be. But
Trust and
like
no,
believe.
I like how that same shot, the colors of everyone in the foreground, as Julian said, help to frame everybody, have a focal point. Because even so, moving from like the pink peach that she has going on her body, and
Mhm.
her hand goes right into blue, but the blue
Yep.
flows right
yeah,
back to the bar,
Correct.
the actual cloud,
yeah,
and comes up. It is brilliant. I love that. That was
yeah. So
Yeah, man.
like
The art in
yeah.
this is
yeah.
Exactly.
sick.
And like
Exactly.
seeing the
Yeah.
progression, like Rune said, the progression from like the first issue was definitely like trying to figure out um a little bit of the rhythm in terms of like the coloring style, because the coloring style in like issue 4 and the coloring style in issue 1 are different, not just because
Yep.
it's like
Mhm.
different sets of people, but it's just like trying to find the right mix, the right character to use, like the textures, because it's not just like flat colors either. Like in the
Exactly.
scene where they're actually inside the nightclub, like if you look in like the rafters of the building, like it's not just flat black, so it's a mix of like colors. It's also the texturing, yeah. So like if you look at the ceiling, which
The
is
hue
like
itself, like
Yeah,
yeah,
the lights are
so it's
hard
like
and soft
the
light.
yeah, so it's like the lighting, use of textures, the use of colors. So it's just figuring out how everything fits together and just watching
Yeah,
that
yeah.
progression through the issues as
exactly.
well. It's so good. I mean, I
Yeah,
feel
man.
like
Yeah, yeah.
Tristan, like
For sure.
like he's too good.
Yeah, you
And
want to
then
check that
like
out.
No,
Off,
man,
off.
I totally agree. It feels like they were finding their footing, and in issue
yeah,
3 they hit their stride, and then in issue 4
yeah,
they're like, all right,
They
let
just
me
went
let
all
me
out.
just style on them now. Let me
yeah.
show
Let me
off a little
just
bit. Now that I figure
yeah
it out, and it
Right.
flex
was
on them one time for the one time be.
Early.
correct, correct.
So
Early.
so yeah, like the guy that they're working with for the colors, Edward King Bola.
King,
Ebola. AKA Ebola. Okay, because
yeah,
he's that
yeah.
sick.
Bro,
The man
I
is
feel like
sick.
yeah, he is
Legend.
That
definitely
sick.
sick. Like the man's coloring work cannot
Bar
cannot get
none.
over it.
Bar none.
Like
Hmm.
yeah, like even this shot that's on the screen now is just like it reminds me of one of those paintings of like I forget the name of it. I'm terrible with names, but like it's a painting of like a club scene. I think it's
Mhm.
like by an African American painter though.
I think your
But it just
name is stylized and it's been
yeah, it's a
being
stylized
so
photo,
far.
but it gives you like it
It's back
communicates
in
the
the
energy of the
60s,
club
70s. If you
scene.
get that thing, yeah, I remember, but
Yeah.
it's like,
So it's
yeah,
like it works. It works. It doesn't just work as like a panel in a comic that's just telling a story. Like it works visually on its own, just like as a piece of art. So it's just nice because I feel like sometimes you could read stuff and they could be a little bit too utilitarian about just like
right.
I using this panel to communicate this versus that.
Hmm.
And it's kind of like, yeah, but have a little fun with the medium. So I feel like, yeah, Tristan had his fun with this.
Sure.
Like,
And also, but this same panel on the screen, you can actually take off the offset, put it in a frame, and you have that's a piece of art right there.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
100%.
Well,
I would put
this
this
is
in
this
my
is one of
house.
those
Real talk.
things. Yeah, this is one of those things that Tristan posted on his account like a good while back, and I had to be like, this is crazy. It stood
Yeah.
out by itself, like
Exactly.
Or
even without
even,
knowing what it was a part of. It was yeah,
yeah. And even like the shot with Sniper standing up on the hilltop with the case of bottles on his back,
There
it's
you go.
just
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
yeah.
like it I just felt like
Correct.
I ain't saying Andrew B. Like I don't know.
Yes,
You
B.
in the country.
Like I
That's
just
exactly how you felt about it. You in
I
the
was
country.
thinking the
but
same. I was thinking even the same powers. I was literally
Country.
thinking we are in St. Andrew. Real
I
talk.
was just like, this is
Exactly.
giving me St. Andrew. Like I could smell the clean air. Like it's just, yeah. The man do what they have to do
All,
with the
but yeah,
art on this,
all them need to do is just put the landing gun, Hill Sammy, and then we get to go. Like
bruh,
straight.
bruh.
You know exactly where you are.
Yeah, like yeah, B.
Yeah, man. I think like just like even the simpler things, not like the less dynamic shot. This isn't very picturesque. This is just like a cover. But
Yeah,
this has so much character. This tells such a big story. You
That's
got
Tristan,
Damien.
bro. The Tristan
He's
actually
very
colored
laid
by
back.
Tristan.
Say again,
yeah.
Julian.
That was colored by Tristan.
Oh, very nice,
Mm.
very nice.
This
But yeah,
guy-
man,
Window.
like you can really feel the characters in even these simpler shots. And it
Yeah.
captures all the characters. So it captures the fact that Damien Collins, my man Collins, he's very laid back. You got his trademark machete on his back. You got the slung over man purse because my man is, very
I'm pretty
confident in
sure that's a
sexuality and
messenger.
don't care. Look, it's a satchel, and satchel for every man purses. That's how we roll. But no, I think the art as a storytelling medium is just
Yeah.
really, really, really good.
Oh yeah, there's a good shot as
Oh
well.
yeah, this is another shot.
So I
right
can
there.
just be like, yeah, 25 horses or the 20B.
I give him 30 horses of 20.
Bruh,
just
yeah,
give it
I would throw horses at this category. I want to be reasonable. We're not going to let anybody go over 20 just yet. So I am forced to only give this 20 or the 20 art. But I think
Well,
one of
you
the
will
good
have
things
to
was starting
force
it.
cap me at 20, but I giving it
Well,
25 or 20
passed 20.
horsepower.
I passed 20. I about 35 and gunning.
My man,
I can't say nothing. There is nothing that I would change art style wise, art execution wise from issue 4 onwards.
yeah.
No complaints at all.
Actually, I have a question for Delvin and Tristan if they're still in the chat. Like the
Oh yes,
music,
they are still here.
the music that plays, like what genre is it? Because the
Be that top bar music.
That's what
Like,
we
I
said.
don't know any top bar
Shaggy
music.
Bear,
Yeah, the Shaggy music is 100% the flute for the
then-
tuck band.
and then
Yeah,
when
'cause
many music
penny
in the club
whistle.
happens, it triggers him. I
Exactly.
was wondering if
Yeah,
it's
Delvin said
I
it's
need
top
to-
band.
or something.
And he's correct.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
kind of Bajan are you, B?
Yeah,
Give
like
back your
honestly,
passport.
for sure.
I just wondering if it was like Soka or Top Man.
Nah,
Give
B.
back
Well,
your give back your
I feel like from the time I saw this, I was hearing the just the penny whistle from the tuck
Yeah.
band in my head.
Yep.
Yeah,
I thought it was
like that
Top
high
Band.
pitch.
When I saw the Shaggy Bear, I was like, oh, it sings its own Top Band music. But then when the DJ in the club played
It
the music,
sings its
and
own
then
top bar
and then he thought-
music.
No, it doesn't. It wasn't singing so
Amazing, B.
Yeah,
No,
Delvin said it's the flute from the tuck band.
Like,
Yeah,
you
for
could
sure.
just imagine like a random Shaggy Bear and imagine they're like
Yes, B.
just like under his breath be amazing.
Cheese on bread.
Oh my god. That is
Punk could be
no.
proud. Punk could be proud.
I feel like we definitely need like I feel like that's what Ninja Man would do if he was in this comic. Like Ninja Man
Big
would
man.
just be doing he would just be doing stick licking and like the middle of tone singing he on top of music be.
Real talk.
Right? Like Ninja Man is one of our greatest characters, nationalities that we need to have. It's bestowed upon him. Like seriously,
Bro.
he does exactly what we don't do.
Name a more
I think
iconic
Ninja
Asian
Man-
character. I will wait.
You can.
You
cannot.
Even that hidden mentor.
Nah,
I
B.
think that hidden mentor just like kind of walking through town and Majesty, so like doing also a random mess. Everybody look at the man like it's just Ninja Man doing Ninja Man things. And
Yeah,
Ninja
Yeah,
Man
B.
like, big man, where you get that piece of shit came from? You know what?
Give me
You
it.
must start
Give
treating
me
you
it.
up on evenings, B.
Is mine.
Bruh, I'm telling you, B. But yeah, so Art gets multiple horses, all of the horses, 20 million horses.
Yeah. I want to give the art as many horses as physically possible. So can we all agree we give this 20 or 20 for art?
Of course.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So remember in our last the last times we tried to record this and failed miserably, we had a lot to
Bro.
discuss with regards to technique.
Yeah,
Who wants to have a go at discussing
I'm gonna
the
go
issues we
with
had with technique for this?
the technique in this is like again with the first issue, I think it was color. It was technically I had started to color it also. Because I got in credits in the first issue. It was flat colored, so we were trying to at least get the look of it and everything. Second to fourth to obviously be Bola. Well, Bola, because just that sick. Um, my thing is that there were certain transitions that I would love to see as in terms of where we go and we put well, we could tell where it is or where it isn't, because it was kind of hard to translate what was a flashback from actual time. Because one of my things I thought it would have been easier to recognize is actually you do like a hue or something like a sapatone sort of thing that you can tell
Mm.
that it is a flashback, so it could be something clear
Yeah.
to the video. But going through afterwards, then it was like, wait a minute, then go back and realize, oh yeah, it is a flashback. So that was just technically
Yeah.
those technicalities used like in the technique you try to at least. But in my personally, how I would have done it, it would like put like say like if Collins was just say that I would give him like a reddish orangish hue because he got an orange shirt, or well
Mm.
not or a blue shirt, sorry. And then I would give Kyle an orange shirt because you could tell Kyle that'd be Kyle's color or whatever. That's how I would have
Mm.
done it. But again, to each his own. But that was something I would like to see, and hopefully, if as I guess Tristan and Delvin is in the chat, so they would take that to know it and just and move forward whenever they go forward to do more issues. So that depending on technique though, everything else is spot on. Whereas that again, line art, line weight, coloring, everything is on point for the techniques that they had used. So that's my
Yeah, man.
technique.
Yeah.
I totally agree. There was a flashback. I think it was either at the end of issue 2 or the beginning of issue 3, where
Right.
Yeah.
Damien and Kyle are remembering the fight from the night before with
Yeah.
the shaggy bear, and
Yeah.
it's only after that scene is done and it flashes back to the present that I realize, oh crap, that was a flashback. Right. So I
Yeah.
didn't
Because
notice that.
because
Go
I
on,
think
Jessica.
it was a bit confusing because well, it's confusing for me. Because I think this was the flashback had occurred after they had already established. It was like, yeah, we're going out in the club, they're gonna come pick you up, and
Correct.
then it's kind of not immediately followed up by, but like some time passes, and then you have like Kyle and Damien in the car, and it's like, okay, well, he did say he was gonna come pick him up, so they must be on their way to the club now. And I was just like, okay, but why are you bleeding?
Correct.
Who bleeds on the way to the club? Like, who does that? So then, like, and then they go through the conversation, and then it's when they reach the end of the conversation, it's like, oh, this is from the night
That was from the
before.
night before.
Right.
Correct.
Right. So, like,
that would have confusing lies though.
yeah, so I think that was probably like the only part that really kind of stuck out for me and made it a bit confusing to read. But again, that's something that kind of flashbacks, I guess, could be a bit tricky in terms of timing, so on and so forth. So and I'm also relatively easy to confuse. So like I ain't even gonna front me. Like I'm just like two levels of awareness above of like a 3-week-old puppy something. So like I wasn't sure if it was that I was getting confused or if it wasn't communicated all that clearly. But I think it's definitely one of those things that they may need to look out for in the future. But in terms of technical stuff, I'm not as well versed in the technical aspects as Julian is, so I can't really comment too heavily on that. But yeah, like outside of that one part where I was just like, girl, what is going on? Like it was it was pretty much like good reading. Didn't have any issues in terms of like the lettering or anything. Like it's legible,
Everything was
text
legible.
bubbles were easy to follow. So, like yeah. So I feel like in the grand scheme of things, it's just like a minor growth on my part.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I really had any serious issues other than the flashback thing. My only other issue, we discussed this at length in one of the other recordings, was the use of, I guess, the switching between Bayesian dialect and standard English. That was
Mm,
my very
Mm.
minor pet peeve, and it's
mm,
because it resulted in conversations that you would never hear in Barbados.
Right.
In terms of the way that they would speak standard English and then switch into Bajan dialect or use dialectal words or phrases and then intersperse it with a full standard English sentence. That's
Right.
not how Barbadians speak. I give them the caveat
yeah.
that obviously it's impossible to write exactly the way that Bajans speak, especially when we're speaking rank Bajan to other Bajans who are going to understand what we're saying.
Correct.
So I actually have a joke about that. So a friend of mine, Argano from Trinidad, sent me a message on Instagram,
Mhm.
and he was like, "When you get a chance, I want you to translate this for me." And it was a video. It was a video of Bajan Fari, and he was just like, "What is he saying?" And I was just like, "Oh no, girl." So I literally had to like watch this video. He was like, he was like, not away, no name but war. And like he goes on this whole spiel about how like if men go into Iraq, then they end up with them head getting cut off with a butter knife or all kind of thing.
I saw that video, yes.
Right? And he was just like, so I literally like transcribed the video for him, and he was like, "So what? He didn't just say so?"
But again,
But he did.
it had to
And
be
I was
Far
like, "But,"
A, and Far A
I
is
was like,
it's just one of those definite characters. No, and if you know, Far A is a character of
"Yeah,
Barbados. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
for
yeah."
sure, for sure.
So
wrong
it's
with
just
too.
like, so like, and is a running joke. Like I spend a lot of time on
Right,
Twitter, and like when
right.
the island wars just pop off, like every other week, first thing the men is do, lol them by can't understand Bajans. So like that's just an ongoing joke, be like our expense. So
And
I
I
kind
do not understand how we get so much shade about not speaking English from Jamaicans. I do
yeah
not
be
understand. But
no
it's a thing.
like yeah. So it is one of those things where it's just like, but I think is our accent is very distinct compared to other islands as well. Because I've
It's
gone
That
to
is
like
true.
regional to like regional things, and it's like okay, so you have like Antiguans and Jamaicans and
very,
Sound
Trinis
very
and
similar, yeah.
Grenadians
very,
and
very
you know like
similar.
everybody got their accent, and then like it was me and one other Bajan girl, and like when we spoke, it was just
What are you
like
saying?
yeah, be like everybody else had these like little sing songy accents, and we were just like nah, be
You
Yeah,
know who
yeah,
flat.
also,
yeah.
you know who also actually talks like us, technically in the stance, what the European stance, that's definitely like the Welsh and Celtic and all them they sound the same way.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah. Like
if you
Yeah.
really
the
look, if you
Irish.
definitely look at
A
it,
lot of my UK friends said that we sound very Irish.
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
the Irish we sound a
yeah,
lot like them. So I guess within wherever we were settled permanently, that we were bestowed by this the Irish dude or
yeah.
whatever
Yeah,
spoke
yeah.
Actually,
and then
another complete anecdote that probably has that is taking us further and further away from what we're actually discussing. For people in the chat, if you have never heard of the song "I Have a Horse Outside," if you're a Bajan and no, go and watch the song, go and watch the music video. It's basically like by this Northern Irish group, and it's like
Mhm.
one of these comedy songs. But sometimes like words that he says is just like, no, this man gotta be a Bajan B. Like
I think just
I
check
will
just
watch that later.
definitely
I
check it
will
out.
watch that later.
I think the group is called the Rubber
Yeah.
Bandits.
Rubber
Yeah,
It
Bandits, yeah.
sounds familiar.
the Rubber
I feel like
Bandits.
I've seen this.
If you're looking for a ride, I've a horse outside. But yeah, so
I will check it out. I will check it out.
but yeah,
But
so
yeah. So the
I know
use of
it's kind of a segue where you say it was horse outside and we are the horsemen in popular, so technically,
yeah.
well, hey. Yeah.
Right back around.
But yeah.
there you go. Our girl Aphrodite just joined and she said that when she was at work, an Irish customer asked if she was Irish. So yeah,
Yeah.
credence.
There you go. There goes my chance. Exactly. So
But yeah,
But
so
yeah.
that was like my minor quibble with the way the dialogue was set up, and I will admit that there is no way to write Bayesian dialect that is universal. Even
Yeah.
when I'm talking to Barbadians and they're typing in Bajan dialect, I have friends who insist on typing entire sentences in only Bajan dialect, and I will have to read their sentence and sound it out to understand what they're trying to say. And I'm not going to lie, I have blocked people for that in the past because it's mad annoying. So I could
Also-
understand Delvin not wanting to type an entire comic in Bajan dialect. So that's a minor quibble. I think we had discussed as a possible remedy for that.
Right.
So I'm going
Yeah,
this way.
because I think we had spoken at length. Because like Rune said, we had attempted to record this twice before and failed miserably. So we had quite lengthy discussions about this, and part of the issue is trying to write in a dialect that is mostly spoken. So there's no like agreed upon spelling of how to spell certain words. So like I will say again some way, and when I spell it Gine, but I've seen people spell it Gun because I'm gun. Them gun do something.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to kind of crystallize a language that is predominantly spoken into a written form. But I think like in previous conversations we were saying like having like little translators notes.
Yeah,
how
like
they
what
would
doing
have it
in
back then.
anime. Correct.
Yeah, so like when they would reference like particular dishes or cultural events, they would have like a little blurb somewhere or like a little asterisk from the editor or the translator being like, this refers to this festival that occurs at this time of year, or this dish is made with XYZ, da 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 da. So I don't know, depending on how much Beijing you have in the comic, that could get kind of bulky in terms like if you have like every other panel somebody speaking Beijing, and then you got like a whole like scribble in the margins of just like this is what
that'd
they're
be mad
actually
annoying.
saying. It's like, so I don't know. I would say I give props to Delvin for trying to put it out there. Even though it can be a bit jarring to read in terms of like switching from like Beijing to English, and like Rune said, like if you're talking to somebody in Beijing, for the most part, like you're talking to them in Beijing.
Correct.
Versus like if you're speaking in standard English, like so it's not very often you kind of have a second where the two intersperse, because standard English tends to be a bit more formal, whereas Beijing is a little bit more like casual or for people that you know a bit better. So I don't know, but trying to find a way to effectively like blend both languages in one, because for all intents and purposes is we're basically bilingual, like
pretty much
as far as I'm concerned, we're bilingual. Like, so trying to find a way to blend like how Beijing speak with standard English. Like, I hats off to Delvin for trying, honestly. Like, it can be a bit odd to read sometimes, but I respect the attempt.
Yeah. And I will point out that at no point did I have any trouble understanding what the characters were saying. I think in terms of communicating what they're saying, he did an excellent job. I actually think that I think if you're not Bajan, it won't bother you at all. I just think that Bajan's reading it might be a little put off. So I think he did a really good job of communicating what they're saying and incorporating Bajan, I guess, terminology into their speech.
I think I agree with you there. I think that reading any dialect is going to put off anybody who's not like a native.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
because it happens in American comics too. Like if you have like Hispanic people saying stuff that a regular person would not be aware of the part.
You mean like the slang and the cultural connotations and stuff like that? Yeah. So it's kind of, I guess, because a lot of language is also like context based. So like without that kind of context or understanding of like certain things, it'd be a bit difficult to pick up on. So it's kind of like trying to introduce Bajan to people who don't speak Bajan.
Exactly.
And is a bit of a hard line to walk at times.
Yeah, for sure. Because I travel a lot for work. I attend like international conferences and I represent Barbados and stuff. And people be like, "Oh, say something in your national dialect," and I'll be like, "I could, but it wouldn't make sense." And then I'll say something in Bajan, and they'll be like, "What did you just say?" And I'm like, "That's why I don't speak in Bajan dialect. That's why I speak in English, because you literally can't understand anything I'm saying." But no,
Yeah,
I
pretty
think
much.
so. I think overall the technique was mad solid in terms of conveying stuff. The only thing that tripped me up was the flashbacks. Even the dialect stuff, even though that's a pet peeve of mine, it annoyed me a little bit. I think if I was a non-national, if I was a Barbadian, I would read it and it would be fine. I wouldn't know that that's not how Barbadians talk all the time. It wouldn't bother me at all.
Yeah,
So I think it was still pretty solid.
Cool.
yeah, yeah.
Anything
I
to add, or
think
y'all want to do scores now?
Bubba, Bubba was saying like anything, but Trinidad think our dialects is sexy though, so it's like
Truth.
yeah.
Truth. I've heard that.
Actually, I've also seen people on Twitter being like, "Don't flame me, guys," but I think I like how Bajans talk, and it's just like,
You know what's up. You know what's up. You know the good stuff
Yeah.
when you hear it.
Don't
Correct.
front.
It's true.
Don't
It's
front.
true.
You know what it is. You know you
Yeah.
like it.
It's
yeah,
true.
but that's just the like go-to roast me. Man's be like, Bajans just talk like Donnie from Wild Thornberries. It's just like cray.
So yeah, man, y'all ready to give scores?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would give this 16 in terms of technique. I think it was very, very good overall, solid. Just clean up the flashback issues, and I am good. I really don't know what you're gonna do with the dialect stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, for me,
I think he did the best he could.
I think
Yeah.
I give it like a 16 also for the technical with the flashback, but that was just like that one thing that I seen that was like, all right, it was kind of hard to convey because of everything was like in color. So if you had put it in like different hues and stuff, it would have made
Yeah.
more sense. Again, that's the only thing I would say. But again, for the other techniques and like work technical stuff of how is laid out, speech bubbles, everything. No
Yeah.
problem.
I think I'd give it like a 17.
I
Just
feel like
solid. Yeah.
that flashback messed me up so bad when I was reading it. 'Cause I remember coming to the channel asking, "What going on here? This don't make no sense. What going on? Like, what these men trying to do?" And then I was like, "Read forward, Cameron." And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cameron was
So-
not having it.
nah." I was upset. I was like, these men have. I was like, these men have lost the plot. I don't know what they're doing. Oh my god, what is this? And then I read forward and I was like, oh, it's a flashback.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Delvin, if you're
And then I
listening,
was
Cameron
like-
was ready to come after you at your front door, B.
Yeah, I had a
She's
right.
on battle. I am down for it. Make it happen. Selling tickets.
Dead.
So
The opportunist you are, sir.
So
The
is that-
opportunist.
Do it.
I think you should add in the little side note things if you're using the
Dialect.
dialect or using things to highlight cultural significance and stuff like that.
You know, translator notes.
You're translating not the bottom.
Right.
Mm.
I'm gonna go with a 14 because of my initial raging when that did happen.
Because Cameron bad mind.
Yeah,
so-
Cameron was
Cameron gone
rage
back
hard.
to being bad mind. Yeah. We see it. We see you,
I feel
Cameron.
like it's the only body to be lenient with it because they kind of want to give like 18 with it. Maybe
Jesus.
because the flashback did not bother me that much. It's only a matter of really truly the placement of the second flashback. The first flashback that Kyle had when he was kind of like thinking back in school. It was really more so me nitpicking at the fact that okay,
Yeah, that was exactly what it was. Yeah, so we understand
right,
what it was.
but
You're right.
the two panels in there were also in sepia, so it's kind of like okay, was this all part of the? Oh no, he's remembering. So it's kind of like okay, if that was in color, then that would be a bit better in terms of like pulling out of the memory. But overall I had no problem with it, really truly, because a lot of the times you get like stuff that happening in manga anime too, especially in a lot of manga. You get random moments where you just say, okay, here's this part of the story, and then you're left to actually figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's like everything's being fed to you. You actually figure out and you get that era mystery is nice.
Yeah. Dead. But yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Cool.
All
So
right,
I
cool.
think
So
that
that gives us a 16 overall for technique. That brings us to a grand total of 89 and a half out of 100, which is pretty damn good. But
yeah, boy.
but
But
it's bonus round time.
well, sweet.
Bonus rounds.
Hold on.
Anybody want to give bonus points? Because I know I want to give bonus points.
Tristan, you never been going to look so sweet going land. I give
I was
bonus
just
points.
about to
Oh,
say.
Tristan.
I was
Oh,
just
It's
about
true.
to say, man.
Like
It's-
there are
Let us
literally
let us talk about this page, guys.
they are literally averaging at like
Let us talk about this
20. They do
page, my
not need
friends.
bonus points.
Waiting for it. Jeez.
cray.
Talk
Is
to
the
me.
is the panel for me at the very bottom right.
Bottom left.
The bottom right.
Oh, you mean where Kyle and Damien are just like
Yeah. Well, that
Yeah.
that whole side from the bottom to the top. The
Okay.
Kyle.
Kyle?
You know what I mean?
He's
You know what I
he's just
mean?
like he's just like
Again,
I'm a wholesome lad, but this
But
is
it's over. This is
he's
yeah.
this
just
is
like
when Damien changed Kyle's life. B. Kyle was like, "There's more to the world than going to school and learning to fight with a stick of cane. Like
You
they
know what
really
I'm
got
saying?
there like sweet
Yeah,
girls
B.
and real tight white pants."
Yo,
yeah, B.
yo.
Call, but
Ah,
like just the look on his face, B. That man
You
could
see.
drop
chef's
dead
kiss.
at that
Chef's
exact point
kiss.
in time, B. And he would have zero
Man.
regrets.
None.
The man's
You
just
carry
so
the
full
man
of
out and
happiness.
imagine learn about life. Learn about
Yeah,
life.
I feel like this page alone just deserves bonus points. B.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Man's just he's so happy. Bless his little heart. And Damien just looking at him man like,
Yeah, boss.
yeah.
Man. I know you're kind of on these things. You want, you want, you forget I do. I
Cry.
don't get you know, but don't. You know what I mean? Don't get
Dead.
shy. Don't get you know,
Tristan
My
Hall
man
just
Tristan just
became
plays.
a man of the culture that night.
Indeed,
One time.
indeed.
Dead.
Man
I
of
see you are also a man of culture.
Listen, at this point, right, I kind of really want to see what can happen when comes about home. My little brother just say, "Wait, you seem different."
Indeed.
Yeah, B.
You know,
You see-
I need to respect you, you know.
Yeah,
Wait,
B.
you seem different. You smell like beer and ass. Yeah, you seem different.
What?
I let you know.
if your 9-year-old brother tells you you smell like beer and ass, you have to ask yourself, what is this child into?
Because you know what,
Big
man,
man.
you're singing all over. Me clearly.
I'm just here like they
He is
need to
9
call the
years
child
old. He
care
probably
board.
spends his evenings
This
watching.
man wanted
child
to
does
the video
shit.
before Kyle's. Yeah, clearly.
Cry.
Because he idolizes Damien, obviously. Because, you know, real recognize real, as Bradley said. Because clearly,
Yeah,
he
B.
see that how that happened.
He
So it's
has
like, yeah,
big
real
Ray
recognize real.
Freeman energy. He
Uh,
does.
He had Ray
Well-
Freeman energy from get-go.
Collins' first
he's
name
just
is
one of them.
Damien, and Kyle's
Yeah.
younger brother is also named Damien. B. The men they're kindred spirits, men of
It's true.
culture.
It's true.
Again, he really recognize real. So, obviously.
It's true. So yeah.
Good
So
dear.
our official rating for this, just to be fair, is 89 and a half out of 100. That's a solid A, no matter how you split it. This is an excellent comic. I recommend this to anybody, even if they're not just Barbadian. If you like good art, you like comic books, get this comic. It is ridiculous. If we're adding
Yes.
bonus points, I give this 20 out of 20 bonus points.
I think
To put
20
it
should go
at
over.
109 and a half out of 100.
Cameron looks so unimpressed.
Diggy donkulous. I love.
Cameron
This
is
book.
so unimpressed. The man
I don't
got
care, B. I
horsepower
don't
rating
care.
system and
Look.
break it on the first outing.
Look at my face, Cameron. I came with the rating system. I don't care. This comic book is ridiculous.
Oh God.
I love
Dead.
it.
Dead. But yeah, like I would Delvin says he supports the Mario Party bonuses.
Bravo.
But
Bravo,
yeah,
sir.
I think
Bravo.
like
Bravo.
in terms of like if I would recommend this to somebody, yeah, for sure. like it's just very Beijing, but just in a it's very Beijing, but not in a BTMI kind of way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
gotcha.
yeah.
so it's just like it's just organically Beijing. The art is great. If you kind of like slightly slower pacing, a bit more into the slice of life stuff, definitely would be a hard recommend. It also
Right.
has some good action sequences, which I don't think we actually really got into all that much. But we
We
are
did
also
not.
like
We did
we
not.
also spent a lot of time talking about this comic. This was supposed to be an hour session, guys.
Yeah, yeah. We are
Um,
an hour and a
Hey,
half in.
okay.
yeah,
I
B.
mean, that happened
There.
with both sessions from before,
Yeah,
so
we cannot
Yeah,
get this
B.
segment under hour. We have tried. There
Yeah,
is
we
too
have
much to talk
tried.
about.
You
We have
tried
tried, but we were too busy fangirling.
too much.
But yeah, so like it has pretty good action scenes. Um, the story's interesting, characters are interesting, the art is excellent. Like if I can't recommend this to you, then I probably just don't value you as a person. Like honestly.
So Tim is asking where can foreigners get this? Tim is
Asking the right questions.
Yes.
no. I'm
Thank you for
I'm trying to
asking,
figure
Tim.
out. I'm trying to
Ah,
figure out which of
Delvin says
my.
that issue
And
one
Devin
is
is
on
a publisher
Comixology, and then you can follow Offset
and
Comic
also comment on
at
Instagram.
yes.
There we go.
Uh,
So Tim, head on over to Comixology to get issue 1, and the other issues are coming soon. Delvin is definitely working on some digital distribution options, so we can get those set up hopefully soon. Delvin, can people also get the novel online? Because there's a comic book volume 1. Wait, hold on. Let me make
yeah, which
myself
is the first
a
four
big boy.
issues.
So this is volume 1 of Offset. This
Oh,
is
whoa.
the first 4 issues of the comic.
Yep.
But there's also a novel.
Novel.
Well, it's technically a light novel
Ooh.
because it's illustrated on the inside as well. We didn't talk
Yeah.
much about the novel. We were trying to focus on the comic, but the novel is illustrated by Hans Steinbeck.
Yeah.
You might know him better as Heavy Metal Hanzo. He is also ridiculous. He's super good.
Yeah. And I believe you can actually get the novel in Indigo Stationery, which is the stationery store in the Carlton Complex in Black Rock.
There we go.
Yeah. Glenn is asking where you can get one to Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we have a slide for that.
You come in, you
Hold on, man. We got slides for that. We got slides for that. Assuming that these slides are not out of date, you can get Offset Book 1, The Mask of Bimshire, at Days Bookstore, Indigo Gifts and Stationery, and the
Which is
Barbados Museum Gift Shop.
Oh, whoa.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, So that's about it, guys.
Yeah. But I mean,
So-
we're already way over time anyways, so you guys want to do a quick review of your pop culture standout. So the way that the show is formulated,
Supposed
the
to
first
be.
segment, yeah, that's supposed to be formulated.
Wait, they may not
The
the
first
National
segment,
Library as well, apparently. Sorry.
yeah, be big
oh,
up
that's
yourself.
nice.
Man doing big things, B.
All
It's
Love
over.
to see it.
Right, so the way the show is supposed to be segmented, the first segment we go over a piece of work created by a member of the network, and then in the second segment we each briefly go over something that has resonated with us from the pop culture space for the month. You guys got anything y'all want to talk about? Jessica looks like a deer in headlights.
I want to talk about Cobra Kai.
Go for it. You got
I
5
haven't
minutes.
watched it.
5 minutes.
90 shit.
I have watched all 3 seasons of Cobra Kai, and I
Jesus.
don't know why I keep on watching it because, like, it doesn't make sense. It's just so white suburbia. Like, nothing makes sense. It's like people.
Wow.
It's like
Oh, Cameron, you are offending all of our white viewers.
Wow.
God.
There goes the neighborhood.
like I
Right.
was, season 1 I was okay with because it showed you the guys, I guess, getting his comeuppance or revenge against the original Karate Kid.
Mm.
Where his students won the tournament,
Right.
right? And then the second season, it was kind of like this sort of gang war between the two karate schools,
Wish I
Yeah,
told
yeah.
me what could happen.
and it all and then it ended off with this big fight, and like one of the star students fell off, got kicked off a ledge, and fell and hit their back and stuff. So I'm like,
Damn.
I was like, this is kind of dark. And then the person who kicked him off got arrested and stuff. So I was like, okay, well, they're
Jesus.
kind of, I'm like, okay, this is they're actually showing them that this isn't the 80s, and like you do have consequences for your actions.
Make
But then,
sense.
like in season 3, they continue with this gang war, and I'm like, why do you people not call the police for these children? I think it was in the penultimate episode. The penultimate episode I saw where there were, so now instead of two clans, there are 3 clans because the guy's old master came and took over Cobra Kai. So Cobra Kai now is just
Ooh.
a bunch of bullies that know karate.
Ooh.
Then there's the then there's the karate club called Eagle Fangs, which logo is an eagle with fangs, which is
But
hilarious.
eagles don't have
It's
fangs.
hilarious. The other one is
What?
and then the other one is the Miyagi, right?
This,
And
this sounds so
Miyagi and Eagle Fang are having a truce moment as well. Look, we ain't wanting to beef. Let me just chill. And they're meeting at a person's house, and Cobra Kai breaks into this person's house and smashes all of their shit and carries out a fight in this person's house.
Brass.
I
Wow.
didn't, and I was like, this didn't make no fucking sense. Like, if I were to come home, well, first of all, if you break in, if in a group, and you break in my house that I in, and we fight, and I beat you, I'm not letting you get away. I ain't gonna tell you what until my parents get home. Like, yeah, mom and dad, these people break in the house. We kick them ass, call the police.
Scream.
Not let them go. And furthermore,
Cameron's
they-
like, I'm executing a
I come
citizen's
home.
arrest.
if I come home and like I see my whole house mash up and children do it, I was like, damn, no, police, these people went into my house. All of these people were going to jail, B. Oh, you know what the two masters did? They went to dojo to fight the masters. Like, the fuck is this? It's not the 80s. These people, they didn't meet you on the road and say, yo, it's on site. These men took the time to find out where you live. Wait till all are gathered in the same place and rush in your house just to fight because they don't like you. Nah.
Cameron is angry.
And lose?
I just want you to know that Glenn is roasting you, Cameron. He's not impressed.
What's he saying?
Dead.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Uh,
So yeah,
Christ.
it was entertaining, but I would not. I want to say it's a good story, but it was entertaining. It was entertaining to watch.
So basically, it's something to put on when you're like washing your clothes or cooking food. Is what
Yes.
I'm getting from this.
background noise.
Yeah,
Just
seems-
background noise. That's
seems
just
legit.
crazy.
Seems legit.
Dead.
yeah, I just needed to get that out.
Fair enough.
Had
Fair
to
enough.
get that off his chest.
Anybody else?
There
I'm
is-
currently watching Jujutsu Kaisen.
Right.
Oh, yeah, big
obviously
yourself. I
not
love
watching
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen. Like right now.
That would be weird.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm on a podcast, but also watching TV. Dead. Glenn reason he will watch Tom and Jerry first. Cray.
Wow. Attorney
Wow.
garbage. Just saying, he getting in traffic. Okay. Anyhow,
Dead. But yeah, like
Oh.
Jujutsu Kaisen is a bit, I would say, out of my comfort zone because, like I said, I'm very into like slice of life stuff. So I like to, take time to get to know my characters and whatever. But Jujutsu Kaisen is just like we have a premise, and now we are going to engage in some fisticuffs. Uh,
Yeah, boy. That's what I'm talking about. That's what
I
I'm
mean,
here
yeah,
for.
that's showing it really.
yeah, be like the man is like I'm not even sure what episode we're at now, like in the series, because I'm watching it weekly as it comes out.
right.
Um,
Hmm.
but it's just we have covered a fair amount of ground, and it's enjoyable, even though I feel like I would want more slice of life from it personally. Like if you're really into all this slice of life nonsense, like just are you just both action and men fisticuffing?
Yeah,
Jujutsu
you can't see
Kaisen's
it,
for
but I'm
you.
raising my hand. I'm raising my hand.
Yeah. So, and I mean, like, I I also binge read the manga and talk about a faithful adaptation. like,
Yeah.
like outside of very minor, like outside of very minor changes, like I think in the manga he says that he likes girls with big boobs, but in the anime he says he likes girls with big butts. Like that's how minor the
No, no,
changes are.
you mean,
So
no, no, no. You
clearly
mean,
he is.
But
no, you
like,
mean, no.
but
It's
like,
he likes girls with that tall girls with big butts. Is he ever gay? That's his thing.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
mm,
but
mm.
in the
He's actually
yeah, but like the first, like the especially the opening episodes of the series is basically like one to one with the manga. I'm actually a little bit concerned because like the manga's only at like chapter like 130.
something.
Tim's like that's not minor at all. I apologize. I apologize, sir.
Tim is a
You
man of
are
culture, okay?
you are in fact correct. That's a very big difference. But in terms of like it's just crazy, but like especially the first couple of episodes is basically like it tracks almost one to one with the manga is insane. But the manga only has like 130, like 6 or 37 chapters out, and the anime has covered so much already. Like I'm a little bit concerned,
Right.
to be honest,
How far
to
is
see
it
where
right
they're
now?
gonna. The manga, I mean the anime.
No, the anime. Yeah.
Um, well, we're kind of like in the manga, we're kind of like partway through like a huge arc. So it's probably like I want to say like one season. Like I
Okay.
like yeah, so it's covered a lot of the stuff in the manga already. So, you know, if you're like me and you're impatient, then definitely hop on the manga. Um yeah, Delvin said they got to like chapter 40 and 7 episodes. They are not dicking around me. Like,
Damn. Oh,
yes.
Oh yeah, that's serious.
no, I've
Yeah.
been reading manga. I wanted to get into the anime eventually, but I wanted to catch up on the anime
Yeah.
first.
So like if you're like me and you started with the anime and you're intrigued and you wanted to, get a bit further ahead, definitely hop into the manga. There's also the prequel, which I recently finished reading, which kind of, oh God, I can't remember the name because it's like Tokyo Magic Metropolitan High School or something like that. Yeah, Tokyo Metropolitan High School. Um, and it kind of delves into the backstory of one of the characters that you don't really see in the anime. At least we haven't met him. He's mentioned once, I think. But yeah. So like if you like fast paced action, fisticuffs, spooky stuff with ghosts, Jujutsu Kaisen is for you, basically.
All right, cool.
That's
Sounds
it.
good. All
Yeah.
right, anybody else? We going too quick. We want to finish this by 7 hour time, so we got 10 minutes.
Yeah, let me just give me the little piece out there. I don't know anyone that has been watching WandaVision as yet, but I am
Sorry.
up to date
Mm.
with everything that's been happening. So as you know, where it picks up is exactly where Endgame left off. It's exactly where we left everything. The fourth episode, so far is up to 4 episodes so far. This one gives us a lot more to understand where the world of Rwanda and where Vision is exactly.
Mm.
The thing is when you because I don't really want to go through spoilers because I know people much. If you only haven't seen it, just let me know now. It's like yay or nay.
Yeah, I haven't seen it as yet, but I don't know
Cool.
when I'm gonna get around to.
All right, cool. So it's like, as you can see from the trailers, they are in this slice of life world in itself, which go through decade by decade by decade, and obviously we're trying to figure out what's happening, why is Vision alive, what is happening to Wanda, who are these characters, what are these different people happening, and what is this whole thing leading up to with the next MCU big thing, because this is just a prelude as the House of Mouse figurehead Kevin Feige said that this is just a prelude to what's happening for
Glenn said he ain't wanting the spoilers.
yeah.
Julian,
But
Julian, not to actually cross you, right? But
Glenn, listen, Glenn is eating stale food because he can't spoil anything.
Really?
Oh,
Oh,
well.
Anyhow,
But
Jesus.
no, Julian, I think no. You said it picks up from Endgame, but I would discuss that with you afterwards. But it's actually
right.
saying that happens at that point. So where it is exactly, it's
But yeah,
not
again, there's no
after
spoilers
Endgame.
in it because this fourth episode it picks up like where within a time a let's say like 3 weeks maybe that's it. But
Mm,
again, without even saying too much, because we now get to understand where what happened in the outside world and this whole thing that happened in between. So it gets creepier at the some bits of it because you get engaged in it and then it just got some slices of creepiness into it. Then you
mm.
realize that, oh, this is some weird shit happening here. Then go back into like sitcom mode again and then goes over. So this fourth episode gives you an idea what happened on the outside. Who's what? Jimmy Woo does this, and then yeah, Jimmy Woo's a man. I like Jimmy Woo, and it's funny. Um, then you get Monica Rambeau, who she really is, what happened to her, and how she gets to be a part of Sword. Again,
Mm.
without getting into spoilers, it goes into more than we saying, and we understand why and what happens to Wanda in a sense, because for those who don't like read the comics or understand comics, within Wanda, actually she actually goes crazy at some point in life in the comics.
Yeah, because I,
So
I saw I saw sorry to cross you,
yeah,
Julian, but I did see somebody on Twitter mention before WandaVision came out,
mhm.
because this is when everybody was still in the speculation phase, if it was gonna pull from the House of M.
Yes, it kind
Yeah,
of does pay for the host of M and along with other properties
yeah,
also, but it
yeah,
picks up
because
like in between too. So
yeah, because
you get to see where because there's a lot of things that Wanda has not dealt with as we can relate. She hasn't really dealt with the trauma of her losing her brother. She
brother,
hasn't dealt with
yeah,
the trauma of the backlash of the Sokovia cards.
yeah,
There's a lot of things that happen in between that she, and plus she didn't get snapped back. So there's a lot of
well,
things that
yeah,
she has not dealt with initially. So
yeah,
that goes into a lot of things where she has to find what she's doing and if she needs to seek help on something. So that's what we are
mm,
looking at right now. So you haven't been told anything of that sort yet, but again, I tell you, this is I in for a definite ride for exactly where Marvel's heading for this and where the multiverse of madness is going to happen because this actually leads up to
oh
that.
yeah, because it feeds
So
into the multiverse of
a
madness.
lot of
Yeah,
it. And you know, if you say talking about multiverse of madness, you know you can see Doctor Strange pop up at some point soon. So
yeah,
that's just my take on it. And that's
Sounds legit. Sounds
that's
legit.
personal.
Nice, nice. All right, so we only got
yeah.
like 4 minutes left, basically. So I'm gonna give up my turn. You want to say anything,
Oh,
Ian, before we go? Do you want to
Um,
highlight anything?
the only thing that I've been watching because I've been reading Jiu-Jitsu, I actually caught up with One Vision today, and the only other thing that
Mm.
was checking out was rewatching One Piece and also watching finished off the season 3 of Star Trek Discovery, which was
Oh,
rather
you still watching
interesting.
that?
Hmm?
I thought I know. I just figured everybody just dropped off that because sorry. The
I
whole
don't think
thing.
I actually started that, But
I
my
did.
I
watch
quit
list
after
is
season
all
one,
over
to
the
be honest.
place.
I didn't find it that interesting. I
Uh,
lied.
it,
I did
it,
find it
it was
interesting, but I found
it,
Michael annoying.
no, she is
Yeah, I
very
could.
annoying, but
Very
she's
annoying.
grown in season 3 to me. Like
Really, I still find
a
she's
lot of the issue with her from before to me mainly stem from wanting like growing up on Vulcan, wanting like
To prove
channeling that
herself as a
Vulcan
Vulcan.
persona. Yeah,
Yeah.
but then being very emotional, like more emotional than the average person really and truly
Right.
at
Yeah.
times. So
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it's kind
Yeah.
of like pick a struggle, like what are we doing?
Yeah.
But third
Wait,
season she
season
really
3 is
has
Braids Michael, or we still on
Yeah, I
Braids
think
Breakpoint.
Michael on season
Yeah,
3?
it's Michael.
Okay.
Right, cool. I'll just
Okay.
speed up and get to that
like
part.
future all that future stuff, like
Yeah.
it started to feel a lot better. Like Control was very
Yeah.
interesting too. Like
Mm.
their push to go to the future, there were points that was just like there's a lot of talking and not enough action going on. Like everyone's dying around you. You should have all these feels going on right now. Do the thing,
Yeah.
But when you get into the third season, it's just like, okay, y'all actually starting to tie this up a little better. But there was still some irritating moments for me. It's kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
don't
Tristan recommends the Expanse.
recommends.
Recommends, yes.
Recommend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Expanse is good.
what I don't like about Michael is that she makes hard choices for other people that she
Yeah.
wouldn't make for herself.
And then when people
But
actually
I
recommend
mean,
things to her, she doesn't want to
in
listen.
fairness,
Mhm.
who likes making hard decisions for themselves? Like it's almost always easier to make hard decisions for other people.
Whoops.
Like,
Like,
this is like a problem. Yeah, we'll do
yeah,
that.
yeah. So
Uh,
it's one of those things where it's just like this is a bit of an annoying thing, but it's like if you think about it, it's like no, actually that does kind of make sense because I don't know about you, but I like to take the easy road as much as possible. Life is hard enough as it is. Be like,
don't always
why
be
make
making
it?
additional hard choices.
It's correct.
The only other thing it would talk about, right? But this be talking directly to Delvin because I don't take any balls for you to pick this up. One Piece. Let me talk about chapters 1000, 1001, and 1002.
You get
Like,
far from.
the
I ain't getting that far.
madness,
Sorry.
the madness that is going on. I just put that straight.
All of y'all who read One Piece need Jesus. That's y'all to stop. So I'm just gonna put my foot down here. We are fast approaching 2
It is
hours.
going on. You
So
got-
we're
you-
going to wrap this up.
You need what
Yes,
Jesus.
sir.
You need what Jesus. Jesus.
So thank you everyone for tuning in. I know this is the first show. We were clashing with Auntie Mia's quarantine update. So thanks for everybody who tuned in, regardless of that. Definitely, we can't recommend enough. Check out Offset. Follow at Offset Comic on Instagram. That's the correct thing.
Yes,
And it's
that's it.
spelled properly. So OFFSET COMIC, no spaces, no
Nothing.
nothing.
Also, check out
Correct.
they're on Comixology. They also have their Patreon page, and if you go on the actual Instagram, you would see the link to all those things. So there's a link tree, so you can also check out everything that they have there.
Yes.
Correct.
Do that.
So that's great. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thanks to Xion for setting up the Xion YouTube and letting us broadcast on that. Thanks everyone who's contributing anyway. Thanks for Delvin and Tristan for showing up and giving us some additional commentary, clearing up our thank you to Ed. Yeah, we really got to figure out where Ebola is, and we got to big up this man. So someone find his Instagram, and I will post it on. I'll post it in the description
not
of this.
Tristan. Delvin also says Beyond Publishing Caribbean and Art of the Cub on Instagram as well.
Yeah.
And
Yes. Beyond
again,
Publishing Caribbean is there.
Yeah.
The conglomerate, and Art of the Cub is Tristan's Instagram page. Follow that.
Stinking dog.
Everyone who's here, please join us in the Discord to continue conversations. I'm pretty sure the Discord link is down in the description. As well, the Instagram pages for the Xion Network and the Xion Network 246 should already be done in the description. Please check us out there. Final shout outs to the horsemen and women. So it's me, your boy Rune, aka War. You can follow me on Instagram. I recently changed my handle. It's no Art of Rune, but it's the same page. Apparently, Instagram lets you do that. Jess, our girl Chaos, is Blonde Bomb Shellings. Follow her. Vengeance, our boy Mose. The Art of Mose. Follow him. Ian, our boy Death, aka Seraph. Follow him at Dracanima Art. Follow him at Dracanima Art. Realize how good he is, and then remember that he once said Dracanima _ art. Hold on, let me fix that. Let me fix that.
If it's the early, you would have fixed this here before post.
It's
fam.
true.
It's true. Thanks for showing up late and making me look bad, Ian. Okay, so he's Dracanima _ art. Follow Ian. Realize that he's very, very good. And remember that when he joined, he said that he's barely an artist. Ian is the worst. We hate him. And last but not least, our boy Wrath Cam at Art of Jin. Jin has 2 eyes and 2 N's. I've spelled it wrong 4 times tonight. So remember, it's Art of JIINN. Follow Cameron. He's an up-and-comer doing big things. So that is it. Sorry, go on.
Also, tomorrow, as you know, we go live 6 p.m. 6 p.m. here, 5 p.m. on the Art of Xion Network. As usual, we have our usual show. We have the guest for tomorrow, and also join me at the after show as usual. As I get you guys to call in and say, well, if you want like the show, if you don't like the show, if you still hate Sean, it's all good for me because you know what I mean. So that's it for me on end. Again, take it away, Ron.
Cool. Sean just said Cameron always has to be difficult. True story. Just want to like that. But yeah, so that's it for us. We're way over schedule. The plan was for this to just be 1 hour, but we cannot review Offset in less than an hour and a half. We've tried 3 times and we failed 3 times. It is very good. So check it out. All right, guys, that's it for the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Maybe on the next show we'll explain to you why we're called the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. We didn't have time for that, so tune in next month. Yeah, you gotta leave them wanting, you know. Yeah, so we'll be on the last Saturday of every month, and we're going to review what's been going on in pop culture for that month. So tune in on February 27th, Saturday at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. AST. That's 4 p.m. EST, and y'all can do the conversions for everything else. We'll be back in a month. Until then, stay safe, have fun, and
wash your hands, you dirty animals.
Oh yeah, wash your hands.
Yes, too.
Wow, Julian.
Wow.
Just we're playing the outro, guys. We're out.
Just roll credit. Roll credit.